Okay, so for this video, we're going to be taking a look at angles around a point. So when we're looking at these questions today, we need to use one of our main angle rules, which is that angles around a point will always add up to 360 degrees. So let's take a look at some example questions. So for this first question, we want to work out the size of the angle marked X. So we can see we've got our point there, and we've got an angle of 130 degrees, and then our missing angle X. So using our angle rule that angles around a point will always add up to 360, we know that these two angles added together would equal 360. So all we have to do to figure out our missing angle is take away the angle that we know. So for this one, we're going to do 360, take away the angle we know, which is 130. So if we do that, that leaves us with 230. So our missing angle X would be 230 degrees. And we can go back and check our answer by plugging that back in. If I add that 230 degrees with the 130 that we were given, we get back to 360. So we know we've got the correct answer. Okay, moving on, we want to figure out the missing angle marked X again. This time we have two angles that we're given the value for. We've got 123 degrees and 110 degrees. We've then got the angle X that we're trying to find. So what we do in this scenario is we actually add together the angles that we were given. So I'm going to take that 123 and I'm going to add on that 110. So when I do that, I get 233. So now that I've done that, the only angle left is the angle X that we're looking for. So the way we find that is we take our 360, which is what all these angles added together would equal, and we're going to take away the sum that we've already figured out of 233. So when we take that 233 away, that leaves us with 127. So our angle marked X for this question would be 127 degrees. Okay, for this next question, we've got three angles again. We've got our missing angle marked X, we've got 147, and then we've actually got a right angle. So again, what we're going to do now is we're going to add together the angles that we know. So we've got this 147, and then we've got a right angle which is actually 90 degrees. So I'm going to add that on to the 147. So when I do that, that gives me 237. So that's the sum of the angles we know, and then all that's left is the angle X. So because that's the only one left over, I'm going to take my 360 and take away the sum of the angles we know, which we've just figured out to be 237. And when we do that, we get 123. So for this question here, our missing angle X would be 123 degrees. And for our final question here, again, we want to work out the missing angle marked X, but this time we've got two of them. So what we're going to do for this one is we're actually going to do it algebraically. We're going to form an expression for the sum of the angles. So all I'm going to do here is collect my like terms. So I'm going to add together this X here and this X here. Well, X plus X would give me two lots of X, or 2X. And then in terms of our numbers, we've got 115 add 140. Well, if I add them together, I get 255. So I'd add on 255. So we've now got an expression for the sum of these angles. It'd be 2x for the values of x we don't know, and then the sum of the angles that we do know, which would be 255. So that's our expression for the sum of these angles around a point. What we can do now is turn this into an equation, because we know that the sum of these angles should be equal to 360. So this 2x plus 255 is equal to 360. So now we've formed an equation, we can solve it. What we're going to do first of all is take away this 255 away from both sides. So if I take away 255 here, I'm going to do it on the right hand side as well to make sure we balance the equation. So we'd have 2x on the left is equal to 360, take away 255 would leave us with 105. So it's just like before, we've taken away the angles that we do know, and that's left us with 105, or this would be the value of 2x. Because we've got 2 times x, we now need to divide by 2. So I'm going to divide this side by 2, and I'm also going to divide this side by 2. So 2x divided by 2 would give us x, and then we'd have 105 divided by 2. That would give us 52.5. So each of these angles marked x would be 52.5 degrees. So well done if you followed along with those questions, and that's it for this video. If you want to check out any other videos relevant to this topic, then I've left some links for them down in the description, and I've also put a card in the top corner, so feel free to check them out. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If there are any topics at all that you'd like me to go through next, then please just let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to make some videos on those topics as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.